Very first movie I watched in quarantine was going to be True Grit, the 2010 one, because I'm like, Haley Steinfeld is really good. I remember her being really good in that. Let's watch that. And then I was like about to click on it, and then I saw a movie underneath it, and I was like, what is this movie? And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, why did I watch this terrible thing? The movie that I ended up watching instead was called Apache Woman. I'll show you the poster. Look, this is what grabbed my attention. I'm like, there's no way this movie could be this bad and this sexist and this just this awfulness. And it was. It was so bad. It was so awful. And it was the worst. I know you're really dying to know what happens in this movie. So basically, that dude is a new army guy, and he goes on his first mission to pillage their village. But then he gets unconscious and he misses the whole battle. Oh no! And then she somehow doesn't die. Yay! And then like he's gonna go bring her in because he's gonna be a good soldier boy. But then he ends up falling in love with her because she's like practically naked for most of the movie. The part that throws me the most. So like the movie's boring and dull. There's so many boring walking shots and this awful dialogue. It's a spaghetti western, and it was dubbed into English very poorly. But okay, the part that got me the most about the movie. So they learn how to like talk a little bit. He like says his name to her. I forget I think it's Tommy or something. And then she says her name, and it's like Sue. It's Sue something. I don't remember it because I'm bad with names in general, remembering names. And he was like, oh, that's a really pretty name, but I won't be able to pronounce it. So then he said, so I'm going to call you, in my head I was like, oh, he's just going to call her Sue, because that's like a shortened version of her name, and it's, still a common name back in, the 18 whatevers when this is supposed to take place. But no, he says, I'm going to call you Apache. And then for literally the rest of the movie, he just refers to this woman as Apache. Like, even after they make love twice and he's gonna like settle down and live a life with her, he still just refers to her as Apache. Like, hey Apache, Apache, where are you at? What's going on, Apache? Oh, I love you, Apache. And I'm just like, you can't say her name. You know her name. You learned it. He does call her one other thing right at the end of the movie. So spoilers for the end of the movie, but she dies. She gets raped to death. It's really sad. You don't actually see the rape, which is nice. There were so many, like, everyone wanted to rape her except for the main guy who did get to have sex with her. But it was whatever. Anyway, so at the end of the movie, she dies and he's burying her, and someone's like, oh, hey, who are you burying there? And he's like, my wife. And I'm like, dude, you've known her for like 3 days and have had sex twice. She is not your wife. That is a weird thing to say. Also, you've literally never said her name before in your entire life. Yeah, he also dies. And like they get to lay next to each other in death, and I'm like, I don't get what the point of this movie is. Like, if it's supposed to be empowering, like, yeah, follow your heart and stuff, or if it's supposed to be like, don't mix the races. Mixing races is bad. Hopefully it's not the other one, but I don't know. I don't know what this movie's about. It's so Someone out there wants to watch it and explain it to me, don't do it. Just don't watch this movie. It's not worth it. It's so garbage. No, just don't. I'm gonna cry. Don't.